Hi everyone, this is my little mare Angel, and this was taken on the 9th of December 2023. I have been doing a bit of Liberty with her. I made the decision to work with her primarily at Liberty because she has had a bit of a troubled past. I won't go too far into it now. A lot of you have heard the stories on various platforms, or heard her history on various platforms. I got her in May. She was pretty undernourished and unhandled. She had been handled pretty traumatically. She wasn't fitting into a training program, and basically the fellow was going to shoot her because she wasn't complying or working out. So then she got turned out in a paddock for a year or something like that, and I've ended up with her. So I've decided to work with her primarily at Liberty because I want her to have the freedom to leave, and I've just been playing around with it. So from May to July, I think July was sort of the first time that I actually did any real kind of work with her, and up until now I've been really focused on connection Liberty, so sort of showing her that if she shows me an itchy spot that I'll scratch it, that she can leave if she gets bothered. So all, teaching her to pick up her feet and have her feet filed and be groomed and all of those things. I've done all of that at Liberty, allowing her to just leave. And of course, once she realized that she could leave, those needs have reduced. So in terms of starting her under saddle, she's a 4-year-old. In terms of starting her under saddle, I am going to proceed with the work at Liberty. Here you can see me scratching her. She's actually lifting up her legs so I can get better access. And it was quite a funny situation for her to learn that I would scratch her if she sort of guided me. It was a real bonding thing for us. So I'm going to work with her at Liberty as much as I possibly can for working her under saddle. But once it gets to the point where it's more for my ego than for the horse's benefit, then I will switch over into, working online and things like that. So this is December 9th, and you just saw me there. I've started to ask her to send around me. And things like that, and she's still sort of in the phase of I guess she's still being a little bit demanding here, where I've asked her to send. She's gone a half a circle. She's come in and said, I'd much rather that you scratch me. And I've said, okay, no worries. We've got a few ticks. In December it's the season of ticks. So you can see me there. I picked one off her and squished it on the ground. So I'm picking ticks off her and stuff like that. So really trying to develop that connection and that mutual conversation, if you like. And then introduce to her the idea of that, I am actually going to ask you to do things as well. So I'm going to go ahead and ask her to go on the other side. And at the start of the video, you saw me sort of using that halter and lead to just drape over her back and go around her legs. I'm not into doing like a huge, big amount of desensitization. So there I'm asking her to go, and you can see that the head's flicking and she's sort of going, oh, well, I'd rather not. I'd rather you just, do what I want you to do. So I'm using the halter and lead there. It's a 22-foot line. That's why there's so much rope. And you can see that she's getting quite, the head's tossing. She's pretty, perturbed about it, if you like. And I do realise that there's going to be this transition period because I've been connecting with her and bonding with her. Of course, she would rather stand in the middle and get scratched than trot or canter around me or do whatever I'm asking her to do. So I've got no issue with the fact that she's having that little bit of a tantrum where she's sort of like, oh, I don't really like this. And so I just sort of say, no, stay out there, do a full circle. And then once I get a full circle, I say, okay, come on in for a scratch. So really offering her the insight of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, literally and figuratively speaking. So now I'm asking her to go to the right. You can see how sensitive this mare is. She needs no support cue. I literally lift up my energy and point and she'll go. The only time I need a support cue, lovely little canter part there, so I call her in. The only time I need support on this mare is when she is mentally saying no or emotionally saying no. It's not a lack of understanding on her part or she's very sensitive to energy. So I literally have to just lift up my life and she'll say, oh, that means that I need to go forward. I'm really enjoying her sensitivity. And you can see here that I'm scratching her again because, again, I appreciated the canter transition. So I'm having that conversation with her where I'm saying, you go and, do something nice for me and come on in and I'll do something nice for you. So we're both getting enjoyment out of the session. I feel like this is a really important part of this mare's training because she's not... There I am doing a little I call it bouncy, because obviously eventually when I get under saddle, that's what it's going to look like. And there was just a little start there. I did bouncy and she got a little bothered, and then she lifted up her leg to ask me to scratch it, and I sort of jumped back because I thought, oh, is that a kick? That was an instinctive reaction on my part, and then obviously I just went back to realizing, oh no. But again, not entering into that scratch, saying, no, I'm not here to scratch you, we're doing something else. And because she got so bothered, I'm backing right out of her space there to say, there's a big lot of space, there's a big lot of reward for you to think about. And she comes on over and says, okay, I feel pretty good. So you can see how I'm just swinging back and forth to... Here's something for you, here's something for me, here's something for you, here's something for me. And again, spending time in that saddle position. Now, she's nowhere near me riding her or anything like that. She hasn't had a saddle on. She hasn't... When I put the rug on her... to see what her reaction was, it was not a good reaction. I've got every reason to believe that she's... so you saw there that she tucked and went to go forward. And I don't like that at all. That's what I'm saying. She's very far from me mounting her because I did not like that reaction. So she went to tuck and her instinct was to run. And then she stopped herself from running by freezing. So this mare has been taught to stop and freeze. I know that she's been tied up for extended periods of time, a patience pole, so to speak, and things like that. So I know that she's been taught to override her instinct of running and reacting by freezing, which can keep the person safe, but it only keeps you safe if she's going to freeze for long enough for you to either dismount or, be able to open her mind and communicate with her. And that's not necessarily going to be the case. She might freeze only for 5 seconds and then start bucking or have a bigger reaction because I'm on her back. So again, I went to that bouncy place, and now I'm quitting the session. That's why I'm coming to turn the camera off.